August doesn't enter with thunder, but with silence. It doesn't announce its arrival. It insinuates itself. It's a month that seems common to distracted eyes, but operates as a vibrational observation field for those who walk in the occult. Its greatest strategy is apparent neutrality, the disguise of routine, the illusion that nothing is happening. But for the initiated, every gesture from others, every loose word, and every unexpected invitation carries subtle codes of testing. August is not just any month. It is a quantum return mirror, where everything you vibrate, especially what you vocalize, returns with amplified force. In this cycle, the invisible hides between the lines. It's when innocent compliments become portals for auric reading. It's when casual encounters activate unresolved karmic dynamics. It's when trivial questions expose spiritual passwords you didn't even know you'd left exposed. August is a probing field disguised as coexistence, and many, in their eagerness to be seen, will hand over their own codes without realizing it. There's a vibrational technology operating this month. It doesn't chase you, it just scans you. And for those who have already gone through previous activations, this is the time to be read in silence. Every time you speak too much, think too loudly, share without discernment, you offer your energetic architecture to the field, and it returns what you still don't know how to contain. August tests what is hidden in the soul, not what you say you believe. It tests the structure, not the discourse. It tests the silence you can sustain, not the text you can memorize. It's a month where everything that seems normal requires symbolic reading, where the superficial carries vibrational traps, where those not anchored in quietude will try to save themselves with explanations, and won't realize they've already been captured by their own noise. Before we continue, if this video is being helpful to you, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment below how this message is resonating with your field. This helps this frequency reach those who need it most. August is a month that doesn't shout, it whispers, and only those who have quieted themselves enough will know how to decode what is subtly being revealed. You are being read, and not by eyes. It's by the field. In August, the word is not just sound, it's a seal of summoning. And every name you mention is a vibration that responds. Even if you say, "I've moved on," even if the tone seems neutral, the field doesn't hear what you say. It hears what you vibrate when you say it. That's why so many seemingly ended ties are reborn in August, because the frequency of the month is conducive to the reactivation of dormant chords. And the entry point is not the body, it's the mouth. There is a silent hunger inhabiting certain disconnected entities. They don't want your physical presence, but the focus your speech offers. They feed on the mental field that your memory reactivates. August is fertile for these disguised restarts. People return, messages resurface, memories reappear as if they were tests from the universe. But they are not tests. They are mimetic repetitions asking for your vibrational password again. And you give it by commenting, by sharing, by retelling. Silence here is not cowardice. It is a sacred pact with your own evolution. Every bond that was ended with pain, with prayer, with renunciation, demands energetic respect. When you verbalize that past as if it were harmless, you violate the altar where the detachment was sealed. And once again, the portal you fought so hard to close opens. August does not forgive unconscious chatter. It returns everything with spiritual interest. Your deepest victory is the one you keep in the dark, like a sealed jewel. True liberation does not need to be narrated to be validated. It is already yours. But the field needs to know if you have truly embraced it. And that is not proven by discourse. It is proven by silence. It's not about avoiding memories. It's about not summoning what has been buried. What has been healed no longer needs to be named. What has been removed should no longer be exposed. Every word about that cycle can re-trigger the code that took you so long to clear. To silence at this point is to honor the liberation you asked for with such fervor. In August, silence is not absence. It is elevated presence. It is a state of spiritual shielding that prevents your structure from being deciphered by forces that do not have permission to access you. Whoever still believes that speaking is affirming power, has not understood the vibrational technology that sustains the initiated. In this field, not being read is more effective than being interpreted correctly. Being invisible is a strategy, not a weakness. And you, if you were called to silence, are being trained to operate in the occult with undeclared authority. Mimetic entities are attentive this month. They don't appear as enemies, but as distorted mirrors. They absorb your speech, copy your vision, and try to simulate the frequency that is still being built within you. When you share plans before they are solidified on the physical plane, you give vibrational raw material to the field, and the field responds unpredictably. August was not made for revelations. It was made for silent consolidations. Your most sacred vision must first be breathed in secret. It needs to be tested internally before being offered externally. Speaking prematurely is like harvesting a seed the moment it begins to germinate. You kill the process with haste. Silence is the spiritual greenhouse of what is still being born. It protects the fragile with invisible layers of energetic safeguarding. August observes you, but not with physical eyes, with spiritual sensors. It listens to your field, your intention, your anxiety, and any vibration emitted unnecessarily becomes data for the field to react. Therefore, in this cycle, the wisest response is withdrawal, not as isolation, but as energetic sovereignty. You don't need to explain yourself, neither to justify silence nor to declare your decisions. Silence here is your highest form of spiritual sovereignty. Strategic omission is not escape. It is a pact. It is the silent contract with the higher forces that guide you in the invisible. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of purpose. There are forces that do not attack you, they just approach. They don't shout. They just listen. And they do it with feigned empathy, with an emotional listening that seems welcoming, but operates as a vibrational probe. In August, the field doesn't send monsters. It sends mirrors. People who seem to understand you, who offer ears, who say, "Tell me, I want to help you." But there are traps in the emotional echo. Not every ear is a shelter. Not every welcome is pure. These entities that act through advice often don't even know they're being used. They are unguarded open doors. They are accessible channels that function as mimetic antennas. They capture your frequency, your codes, your signals, and transfer them. It's not about malice. It's about vibrational incongruity. August tests your ability to recognize where there is true spiritual resonance and where there is only emotional mirroring. Venting has become a common, almost automatic act. But in the current field, every word spoken is a broken seal. Every confession is an informal contract with the field. When you give your pain to someone who doesn't have the vibrational authority to hold it, it disperses. And the field returns this in distorted forms. Confusing advice, misleading suggestions, words that sound right, but unbalance. You were trained to discern, not to share. And there are times when your wisdom must remain encrypted, guarded under 7 layers of silence. August is one of those times. Distractions will not come in the form of obvious temptation. They will come as well-intentioned advice, as spiritual questions, as proposals for energetic exchange. But be careful. Some of these exchanges are just unauthorized readings of your field. Protect your frequency, as one guards a temple. What is being formed in you is not yet ready to be touched by anyone. August observes those who know how to be silent even when they have someone to talk to. Spiritual maturity, in this cycle, is measured by what you choose not to say, even when you could. Not every compliment is genuine. Not every question is innocent. Not every spiritual curiosity is a search for truth. August knows this, and that's why it uses the most subtle baits. Those that touch your sacred ego, that validate your inner conquests, that make it seem like now finally you can share. But praise is the most efficient hook when the soul has not yet learned to silence its victory. Curiosity is the door through which entities disguised as admiration infiltrate. You're so different. I wish I understood how you think. Teach me how you did this clearing. These are phrases that seem like an approach, but often they are a scan. They are hooks thrown by presences that want to access your code, your practice, your structure. And you, if you respond without vigilance, give away the essence that took cycles to refine. You give to the field what should only be shared by command of higher consciousness. August is the month when light seekers multiply who don't want transformation. They want decoding. They want to know your process, not to honor it, but to replicate it without vibrational merit. They are deciphers, not disciples. They are listeners who were not sent from above, only attracted by your expansion. Here's the risk. Sharing a teaching too soon is like handing a sacred chalice into the hands of someone who hasn't yet cleaned their own hands. It's not about ego, but about spiritual hierarchy. Some wisdom can only be released when the other has the field to sustain it. Otherwise, you don't teach, you leak. And when there's a leak, the field perceives weakness. Therefore, August observes what you share without being asked from above. Every time you respond to something just to please, impress, or feel useful, you are, in fact, opening your inner temple without security. And what enters afterward doesn't always leave. Your highest wisdom is silent. It doesn't need to be explained. It manifests through how you preserve yourself. It's not about how much you shine outwardly. It's about how much you are sustained inwardly. August doesn't seek performance, it seeks structure. It's not impressed by speeches, postures, well-chosen words. August probes the invisible columns that sustain what you are when no one is looking. It's a month where the battle doesn't happen on stage, but behind the scenes of your soul, where the field doesn't ask for a spectacle, it asks for stability. The true test is not enduring pain, it is enduring silence. It is not resisting the fall, it is resisting the need to be seen. August is a field that blows winds to check for cracks. It will prod your impulses, provoke your urgencies, try to extract from you some proof that you've overcome. But every time you respond with unnecessary speech, emotional exposure, or spiritual justification, you reveal instability in your architecture. The spiritual strength August demands is internal and profoundly non-theatrical. The voice you held back, the impulse you contained, the answer you denied. All of this adds up as secret foundations of your vibrational solidity. You are being observed, not with eyes but with sensors of energetic consistency. The invisible wants to know, is your evolution real or just aesthetic? Whoever needs to explain too much, prove too much, show too much, is still clinging to recognition as a vibrational crutch. But the true initiate understands that there are victories that only make sense when they are not told. There are conquests that only consolidate in silence. There are lights that only shine for the eyes of the invisible, and that is enough. In August, every visible movement is being scanned by hidden intentions. Therefore, protection will not come from appearance. It will come from the silent alliance you have made with the Most High, from the internal decision to remain firm even without applause, even without an audience, even without immediate return. What you didn't say this month may have been what kept your field intact. There's a secret that time reveals with precision. The invisible always reaps what was sown in the hidden, and August, with all its disguised neutrality, was the most demanding soil for sowing what is unseen. The true harvest doesn't come to those who expose themselves the most, but to those who sustained codes without exhibition. September will then be the vibrational mirror that returns the faithful reflection of what you endured in silence. Most did not realize what August asked for. They thought it was just another cycle, another month, and they succumbed to the need to speak, to tell, to explain their pains and victories. But the field does not reward those who narrated the journey. It rewards those who lived it in secret with devotional courage and energetic firmness. September will not bring applause. It will bring revelations. Doors that were not announced, just opened. Movements that were being prepared without fanfare, and that now manifest as a silent response to vibrational fidelity. August was a non-verbal contract, and you signed it with what you didn't say. Every word avoided was a shield. Every impulse tamed was a key. Every strategic silence was an energetic decree telling the invisible, I am ready, even without recognition. And now, The higher forces adjust the frequencies around those who understood, not with the mind, but with the spirit. There will be no warning. September's rewards will not be preceded by alerts, visions, or blatant signs. They will arrive silently, just as the test arrived. And you will realize that something has changed, not because the world applauded you, but because your soul remained firm when everything invited noise. The new spiritual era will not be led by those who speak well, but by those who sustain well, not by those who expose light, but by those who protect their own temple. And if you have come this far in silence, preserving what was entrusted to you, then you already know. September will not be a surprise. It will only be the materialization of a pact that the field heard, even if the world did not listen.